I'm only about 1/10 of a mile down this fire road, and here's the intersection with the Appalachia Trail. There's the AT going one way, and if we look over here across the way, here's the AT continuing southbound. But I'm going to keep hiking down this fire road until I get to the Pocosin Cabin. Laying on the fire road there is a tulip poplar bloom with some tulip poplar leaves on it. And right over here is probably the tree that he blew off of. That's a small to medium-sized tulip poplar tree. This intersection here, the fire road continues on down the mountain this way, but we're going to go over this way and pick up this trail. Right here at this intersection, right up there, are the ruins of the old Pocosin church mission. So I'm going to go over there and check that out and try and get some pictures of that stuff. And then after that, going to continue hiking down this trail a mile or so, see if I can find an old cemetery that I see marked on one of the old maps. Here's what's left of the old mission. Not much, just some stone walls. I'll get some still pictures of it. If I pan back over this way, is an old collapsed wooden structure. I really don't know what it was, but there isn't a whole lot left of it now. It's slowly collapsing down to the ground. And here's what's left of the old mission. I'll get some other angles, pictures from other angles. So it looks like this mission, this stone mission, was a pretty good size structure. There's a corner of one of the walls near the back of the building, and way over here is what's left of the front steps. So it's a pretty good sized building, because there's the front steps and you go up and there's a little bit of stone rubble all in through there, covered over with leaves and grass and stuff, and poison ivy probably. And back there is the back part of the mission. So in its day, this was probably a pretty nice place. Here's a different angle looking at the mission. Down that way is the trail, so this would have been like the front yard. Here's the steps coming up. And all in through here is concrete and stone rubble. There's a big slab right there. Bunch more down here. And then if I look up that way, back there is that stone, what's left of that stone wall, the corner of the building. And over here, below that fallen tree trunk, it's kind of a hole in the ground there. So I'm not sure. It could be that there was a little bit of a crawl space dug out underneath the floor of the church maybe. So here's the last view of the ruins of the Pocosin Mission. You could probably see more stuff here if you come down here in the wintertime when there's not so much vegetation. We're going to continue on down this trail here, descending the side of the mountain for about another mile and see if we can find what they're calling the South River Cemetery. Well, this trail is actually an old road. There doesn't seem to be any gravel on it or anything, so it doesn't look to me like it's been used in a long time. But anyway, we're going to keep on going down the side of the mountain on this now road, and I'm going to do my best to stay out of the tall grass and avoid getting covered with ticks. I'm still on the Picosen Trail, which is actually a fire road if you ask me. But anyway, these are the headwaters of Entry Run. The elevation here is about 2,600 feet. And here's part of it here. I'm kind of standing in the middle of it. Here's one little stream there. And if we turn around and look back this way, where I've come from, there's some more of it there. And there's a bee buzzing me. There's some more of it back there. So here's the headwaters of Entry Run. And we're continuing on to see if we can find the cemetery. Should be about a half a mile from here. I'm still on Pocosin Trail heading to the cemetery, but I stopped to get a little quick clip of this. This is a big tree that fell down here. And my trekking pole's leaning up against it for some sense of scale. When this thing came down, I'm sure it was quite a boom when it hit the ground. Big old tree. There's another one that got blown down just a little further down the hill there. Maybe you can see that too. Here's a great big cleared out area that you could use for a campsite that I found just off the Picosen fire road. Take a look around here. Great big cleared out area. Up there's the fire road, and this whole area here is pretty cleared out. So you could get quite a crowd in here. I don't see where anybody's built any illegal fires here. This is kind of close to the road for somebody to chance doing that. But this looks like a nice little camping area. I'm going to mark it on my GPS. I'm about 2.3 miles into the hike now. The elevation here is 2780, and the trail continues on down that way to the right. But the Park Service was nice enough to make a mark on that steel band up there telling me if I turn this way and go up this way 1/10 of a mile, that will take me to the old cemetery. So this is going to be my turnaround point for the hike. I'm going to go up here to the cemetery, and if it's cleared out, maybe eat lunch, and then hike back. So here we go to see the old cemetery. Here's the South River Cemetery. It looks like it's abandoned. It's totally overgrown at this point. There's the old gate. There's still a little bit of wire fencing up over this way. And out there is some sort of a monument. I'll go out there and get some pictures of that. I don't see any tombstones out there. There might be some laying on the ground out there, but there's that one big monument there, so we'll go see what that says. This family's last name is Meadows, M-E-A-D-O-W-S. And the father lived 1846 to 1928. The mother lived 1837 to 1888. 3 children, one aged 13 years, one aged 3 years, and one aged 2 years. Wow, tough life for the kids. They didn't live very long. I also see a couple of headstones. I see one over there and a bigger one over there, so we'll go over there and investigate those. So here's the Taylor family. Stonewall J, aka Buddy, 1873 to 1955. Mary Blanche, 1885 to 1949. And Mary Early, 1911 to 1935. And next to them are some real simple markers, nothing more than stones stuck into the ground, but there they are. There's a bunch of them in here. I'm back at the ruins of the Pocosin Mission, but I'm on a little side trail. This little side trail is across the main trail from the ruins of the church. And I had read somewhere about there being an old cemetery back here, and I'm thinking this might be it. If you look over there, you'll see some red flags sticking in the ground in various places. I think maybe the Park Service has come back in here and started marking some of this, and there's another flag there. And if you look right here, there's an old-timey grave site marker, just an old stone stuck up straight up in the ground. And on the other side over here, there's another flag, and next to it is what's left of another stone that's sort of sticking out of the ground. Bunch more flags back up in there. Here's one here, another one. If I come down here, there's another grave marker, I think, sticking up out of the ground next to another red flag. Be interesting to come back in here in the wintertime after all this vegetation's died down and see what's going on in here. It's also pretty cleared out. Let me do a little pan here. So this looks like it might be the cemetery I was reading about. If you're down here, it's directly across the trail from the ruins of the missions, but you have to look for it. That's what the trail looks like, and it's easy to walk right past it. So anyhow, I guess this is the old cemetery. This is the Pocosin Cabin. These cabins are managed by the Potomac Appalachian Trail Club, PATC. They're available for rent, so if you go to their website, you can find out what the rates are and how much or when they're available. This one's got a outside fireplace, which is nice in mild weather. You can sit out here and enjoy the evenings. If I turn around this way, that's the view from here. In the wintertime it would be more open with the leaves off the trees, but that's the view. Down there is the trail that leads down to the Pocosin Mission. And up that way, if you follow the trail on up that way about another 2/10 of a mile or so, get you back up to the parking lot, which is just off Skyline Drive. Now, this is some high-class gutters here. I don't know if that's showing through in this video, but those are copper gutters and downspouts. When was the last time you saw that? And now that I'm looking up there where the chimney meets the side of the top of that roof there is looks like copper flashing. So they did this one up pretty nice. So there you have it, Pocosin Cabin.